Okay, cool. So now let's get into the journey ahead of what's real stuff that's tangible and important for your business that can make a difference. Okay, so the first prediction is that mobile will become the first screen. If you think about web development over recent years, everyone's developed, well, traditionally just like one for a main laptop, desktop type computer, and then mobile was an afterthought. But it really needs to change now to where mobile is more and more becoming the first screen that you need to think about, and that'll become clearer why in a moment when we get into some of the zero moment of truth type stuff. So with this, you need to think about all these different screen sizes now, from TV down to really iPhone, and then soon you're gonna have to start thinking about how does it look on a watch, that kind of that kind of stuff. So do you go a dedicated mobile site, or do you go a responsive site, or a bit of both? And the answer is really it depends. If you're an e-commerce store, then responsive is fine, and that works great. And if you're a big e-commerce store, then building an app can work if you've got a massive following already. But the hurdle with an app is you've got to then get people over to your app and then getting them start consuming it, that kind of thing. So then for most people, it's really about responsive versus mobile. So I should explain what responsive is. Responsive website design means that you've got your website, and then as you change to a smaller screen, say for example from the laptop to the iPad, it adjusts. And then as you turn the iPad on its side, it adjusts again, that kind of thing. And then as you get down to the iPhone or whatever, it adjusts again. So that's what responsive means. And dedicated mobile means once it gets down to this form factor, which is like handheld device, it changes over to a dedicated version of that site, like a cut down version of it. M. is how it often looks, mobile, which means mobile version of the site. And if your business is really about inbound calls, if you want inbound leads, then having that dedicated version, see over here, like it's got call us, those buttons at the top, call us, find us, and send us a quick text. So they're just like ways that people can one click and call you, or find us, and then the map will take them there, that kind of stuff. So that functionality isn't really available in responsive sites so much, unless it has a really, really expensive like custom build. So the real answer is everyone needs a responsive site now. So think about it for yourself. If your site isn't responsive, if it doesn't adjust, then you really, really need to fix that, for 2015. And if you dependent on inbound calls and inbound texts, then you can have a responsive site and then still just make it a dedicated version when it gets over down to that smallest form factor type size, which is probably really the best solution, because when they're on that size, they don't need access to everything. Oh yeah, and here's those three buttons I was talking about. We used to just do call us and find us, and then Google we go there a bit. And one of the things that they were saying about was no, make sure that you're receiving text messages as well, and that send us a quick text, because it's actually less intrusive. People are happier to send you a text than call most of the time, because it takes up less of their time, and that's really where society's going. No one really wants to talk to each other that much these days. That's just sort of the way it is. And this shows you, like with those three buttons, the sort of conversion rates you can get on your homepage. So here, 468 total site visits, and of those, 69 people called, and 29 people clicked the map, and 16 people clicked the text. So that's like 24% of people who hit the homepage of that little mobile site took action, which is amazing. So normally just driving traffic to a landing page doesn't really convert that well. So yeah, and just to show you that that's not a one-off, we get those all the time. So there's another one's like 31% conversion rate. And here's something we did with AdWords with testing not having a mobile site versus adding a mobile site. This we did in a large weight loss brand that Daisy and I used to work together with. So here what this is showing, that our cost per lead before we added the mobile site was $66. So it was quite expensive for that business. Obviously every business it's different. And then when we added the dedicated mobile site, the cost per lead went down to 46 cents. So that's a very extreme example, but in this case we were driving traffic from TV to the website, and so the larger community that we were advertising to, they really didn't want to get up off the couch and go to the thing. So they were happy to sit there and just go, oh yeah, okay, I'll take the free trial, that kind of thing, but they weren't happy to get up and go do anything. So that's why that one's extreme, like an example, but I can see people laughing. but it does show you indicatively of, you know, really what's going on in that space.